Oh, hello, this is Shirley from Shirley's Art Ventures, and my keychain didn't turn out quite the way I wanted to, so I filmed another one with Kumihimo. So check this video out and see my second keychain that I made today.
Okay, we're going to use the leftovers now and to make another keychain. So this is a bracelet. This is the first keychain. I'm not too crazy about these being side by side. I like this down here. And this will be the second keychain. So instead of dividing it all around the Kumihimo disc, I'm just going to put all the beads under one strand and we'll see what happens from that. I did an order here that of the that the beads are going to go onto the strand, and let's see if I can get these on. Sometimes it's a challenge to get these on, and I have to decide, I guess I should do all one direction with these. So I will go on with the charms going upright. So here's another charm. I'm going to have it facing upward, so all the charms are facing the same direction. Like I said, I've not done this before, so this is experiment with me. I've done a lot of making bracelets and seed bead weaving, but the Kumihimo I've not done a whole ton of. I will do another tutorial or not, another video showing some stuff I do have completed. Okay, here's another charm. Okay, I got my 16 on, and I'm going to attach my bobbin. And we tried to do class without the bobbins. You really, really do need the bobbins. It makes life a whole lot easier. Okay, so I'm going to do just a little bit to start with to get it going, and then we'll start pulling the beads in. So just a reminder. Yeah, I got them connected together back here too. I did that so they wouldn't get all tangled up. Okay, so we're going to pull down on the right, pull up on the left, twist a quarter turn, pull down on the right, pull up on the left, twist a quarter turn, pull down, pull up, and twist. Okay, I'm going to do some off camera, and I'll come back when it's time to load the beads. When you make a stop, always have 3 on one side and 1 on the other side, because then you're going to be pulling one up. Okay, I'm back. I braided about an inch. You can see it in there. And I'm ready for the drop downs. They're all in the same bobbin. So once around, we're going to drop one down and we'll see what happens. So the first one we're dropping down is the check glass. I'm going to pull that in. You drop it down and put it underneath, and then we're going to twist it 90 degrees and keep on going here. So every now and then we're going to drop one down when they come up for a drop down, and that will be the time to do it. So if you drop them in right, then they'll hold up right. Who knows? Sometimes I try and it doesn't always work. So you do the best you can until you become an expert, which I'm not there yet, but maybe I will be someday. I'm more of an expert with my seed bead weaving with a needle. And I will do a tutorial on how to make the bracelet that you saw earlier. It's not a hard bracelet, but when you're filming, it makes it a little more difficult because you're screwing up in front of on a camera, and then you gotta try to unscrew it up or move on to something else. So okay, time to drop down. We're going to be dropping down a flamingo this time. So we're going to stick him inside there, let him dangle underneath so he's hooked in there. And we're going going to continue on until we get another round, and then we'll do another drop down. So I think this is going to be probably a better option for my class. My class did get postponed because of the weather. We have been lucky here in Wisconsin that every Thursday for the last 3 weeks we've had a snowstorm. And with the snowstorm, the schools get canceled. And with the schools getting canceled, my class gets canceled. The first snowstorm, I had to take my mom to the doctor in Dubuque, and they got 9 inches of snow. And I'm driving her down there. It was hard to see, but she really needed to go. And that was probably the best snowstorm because it only lasted like a couple of hours, and it was no big deal. And I don't know if classes were canceled or not that day because I stayed overnight with my mom because it just, she needed to go to the ear doctor. And if they were closed, then, we would just do other things. But I called early in the morning, and they were not closed. Doctor was already there in the clinic, in the hospital. So I said, I'll be there. And it took me like double time to get there. I just dropped another bead down. And I ended up following snowplows a lot of the way, which made it better. It took longer because they went like 35, but at least I could see where I was going. Otherwise, you couldn't see because we had like 1 to 2 inches of snow an hour. When we were in the clinic, like all of 40 minutes. Came out, my car had 2-3 inches of snow on it. So I got the car cleared off. I got my mom back in, and we left the clinic. And then in leaving the clinic, we noticed that all the traffic was stopped. The trucks were not able to get up the hill. They were stuck on the hill, and other cars were turning around. And the police car were coming, and I was just grateful that we were going the other direction. So we were not going up the hill, we were going down the hill. And by then the snow had lightened up so you could at least see. Oh, and there was a tree in the road too. So coming back was a whole lot easier than going down. I didn't have to follow snowplows coming back. I could actually see the road. Coming down, I had 2 snowplows. So we get back to town, and I'm looking on my phone, and I found out Dubuque had literally shut down kind of after we left because the trucks were getting stuck on the hills. And if you've ever been to Dubuque, it has a lot of hills. It's a very cool old town in eastern Iowa. So I don't know, somehow we were meant to go to the ear clinic because we went down in the snowstorm, came back, and everything was cool. And then the next week I was supposed to have my class, making the bracelet that you saw, and we had another snowstorm. So school got canceled again. Isn't that crazy? And we postponed the class for a week. And then a week later, oh my goodness, then we had an ice storm, which is honestly worse than a snowstorm. Because if you ever been on ice, you really don't go anywhere. Class is canceled again, second time in a row. And the guy told me not as many people signed up for class this time. I guess 3 of them couldn't do it. There was 6 in the class, so that was kind of exciting. I was going to have a class of 6 people. But then the second time around, 3 of them couldn't do it. We couldn't do the class the next week because his teacher's conference, which would be this coming week. So we did the class, we got it scheduled for the week after, which is the same day I have to take my mom back to the ear doctor. And we'll see if it happens. And that would have been the Kumihimo class. But, I guess nobody signed up for that class. So maybe with this going, up before then, we'll get people to sign up for the Kumihimo class, which is delayed for 2 weeks. So it's kind of like every Thursday school has been canceled here. Actually, school was canceled Wednesday and Thursday. We, in southern Wisconsin, we ended up with a bunch of sleet, which is probably the best part. People south of us, they ended up with ice. and people north of us ended up with a foot or two of snow. Apparently Monday there's another storm coming, but from what the weatherman says, it's going to be rain this time. This is the one that's coming from California, and they had blizzard warnings in Southern California, which to me is like, that's just bizarre to have blizzard warnings in Southern California. I'm glad we didn't have the blizzard warnings because, I am concerned with my mom because she needs to go to the clinic every 3 days a week for her dialysis. And if you have snow and crappy weather, it's really hard to do that. Okay, gotta get that little guy in there. So that was my week. So anyway, things are going well with my beading here, so I think I'll do off camera, and I get all the 16 beads I loaded on dropped in, and I will show you how it looks. Well, I'm back again. I've been braiding away here. I have one more bead left. I'm towards the end of all my strands, so all the bobbins have come off, which almost makes it easier because then they don't get tangled as easy. I just hope my one bobbin that I do have left that has the one bead on it remains there, or I'll be chasing my bead around. So we'll just finish up here and I will show you how it's going to look at the very end. Here's my one bobbin with the one bead that's left, and oh boy, I feel it's getting looser. So I have to be careful that I don't pull that bead off. So the bobbins, they do kind of get in the way, but if you're sitting in a relaxed chair, you can probably keep going and not have your bobbins get in the way too much. So this turned out longer than I anticipated, which, in doing our class, oh, here we have it, our last bead. It's a good thing to demonstrate how long it's going to be, and I'll just pull that bobbin off and see, and then we will just go around a few more times to finish the ending here, and we'll tie it off, and if I could ever find my glue, we will glue it together. Isn't it funny? Lose my glue, find my glue, lose my glue. Right now it's in the lost stage. Okay, we are done. So we're going to pull our keychain off of our disc by just pulling everything out, pulling the disc off, and then we're going to tie the end. Get everything through, tie it real close to the end, pull it tight, and trim. This would be the time to put your glue on right there, but like I said, I don't know where my glue's at. Now the other end, I think it's going to need gluing too because I didn't double them. I used the extra from the other keychain, so I'm going to cut these off, and we'll just have a little end there. I have to decide, maybe I'll cut them off some more once I glue it. So let's look at our two keychains together here and see how they're different. Okay, keychain number 1, as you see, I did not put the little charms on the same direction, so these two are not really going right. I think to work as a little keychain, it will work, it'll be okay, but it's not quite the way I like it. I don't really like this part, it's too cluttered. This part is okay, that's good. Keychain number 2, everything is much more spread out, which is much better. It's longer. I don't totally love the end like that. I like this end better, but I think keychain number 2 is the better keychain. So anyway, so thank you. This is Shirley from Shirley's Art Ventures, showing you how to make some Kumihimo keychains.